Hey, it's William here from Jewish Bloggers. Again, wanted to welcome everybody and say hello. I'm going to be posting this blog. It's from a gentleman called Sultan Knish. He does have a YouTube channel here, so you can take a look at some of his stuff here. But I don't really believe he posts very many of his blogs. Again, my channel is being brought to you by Berserk Mobile Communications. You definitely want to check out this link. Check out Berserk. They're a brand new global cell phone company with proprietary technology that's literally unparalleled anywhere else in the industry. Okay, with that being said, I'm going to be getting to the article. This is a Sultan Knish blog from the 11th of July 2009. Okay, with that being said, Sultan Knish's blog is called The Jewish Problem, which of course the Jewish problem, this has been used throughout at least the 20th century as really a way to promote anti-Semitic type of behavior. But with that being said, I want to just read Sultan's blog. Okay. The Jewish problem has always been around. When Jews lived in their homeland, the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Greeks, the Romans, Arab crusaders, and then Arabs again swept through Israel with the sword and with the torch, and over again, the Jewish population of Israel was murdered, enslaved, the land was emptied, ransacked, renamed, and new populations were imported to take their place. Then the subjugating empire would fall, and the Jews would return, reclaim their holy places, build new homes, plant vineyards, and cultivate fields, and the cycle would begin again. In the exile, the Jewish problem didn't go away. Islamic Arab rulers barred Jews from even approaching the site of the temple. Medieval Europe penned Jews in ghettos. Tsarist Russia had the Pale of the Settlement. And the liberals of the French Revolution proclaimed that Jews were to assimilate and cease to be a separate people. As the counter-revolution, Nazi Germany began with plans to expel Jews and ended on the wholesale genocide. Jews fleeing the Nazis found the gates of Western nations barred on the ground that they already had enough Jews. And Israel, on the grounds that the British authorities did not want to upset the Arabs, who were already sympathetic to Nazism. Barely was the modern state of Israel rebuilt that the world decided that Jewish refugees of Nazism were the oppressors. The Palestinian Arabs under the Mufti, Mohammed Amin al-Husseini, worked with Hitler on the Holocaust and claimed that, of course, we Jews made them victims. This would become a conventional narrative of the latest phase of the Jewish problem. The Jewish problem being, of course, that there are Jews. The greatest threat to the peace in the Middle East today, the world declares, is that there are Jews living in towns of Judea and Samaria. These towns are called settlements, and they prejudice the outcome of the peace process in a way that apparently all Arab towns and villages that are parts of Israel do not. Now, if an Arab builds a house, his rights are so defended, and if a Jew builds a house, he's a threat to peace. Never mind that there is no peace and no peace process, for the simple reason that Hamas and Fatah terrorists are the ones that the world wants to hand over a Palestinian state to try to kill the Jews. The diplomat, however, only demonstrates that this is a Jewish problem. After all, the terrorists are trying to kill Jews because clearly the Jews are the problem. Now, the Obama administration's two big overseas agendas are to keep the Jews from living where he doesn't want them in their own country, and to keep Israel from defending itself against the Iranian nuclear threat. As usual, it is not the Islamic Arab terrorists trying to kill Jews, nor the Iranian nuclear weapons program that's the problem. It's the attempt by Jews to not be killed. And that is the threat to peace. Of course, there are always court Jews who rush to their aid. Not to the aid of Jews, but to the aid of those who keep plugging away at the Jewish problem. Alan Dershowitz purported a suggestion from Youssef Manayer of the pro-Hamas American Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee that Jews in settlements will be forced to build only vertically. Instead of out, let them build vertically, or piled up on top of one another in a true postmodern architectural vision of a ghetto skyscraper. 100-story glass and steel ghettos are not likely to solve the Jewish problem. They're only for a better target for the rockets of the Palestinian terrorists. The problem is not the settlements, because the settlement is not a problem. The problem is the Jewish problem. Hitler's problem was there's not was Jews living in Germany, but that there were Jews living. Period. When the Jews left Germany, Hitler's armies followed them to the west, to the east, even to the Middle East. As Hitler vowed to the Mufti of Jerusalem that his goal in the region was to wipe out the Jews in Israel. Islam's problem is not that there are Jews living in parts of Judea and Samaria. Neither Hamas or Fatah are prepared to recognize the rights of the Jews living in any part of Israel, or the right of Israel to exist, not even with the settlements gone. The Jewish problem cannot be solved by moving Jews into ghettos, vertical or horizontal, because it is not the problem caused by where Jews lived, but by living Jews. Obama is helping to solve that problem by once again viewing it as a Jewish problem, rather than the problem of those who hate Jews too much to live and let live. Diplomacy has tried to replace the cycle of violence with the cycle of appeasement. But one naturally feeds on the other. Israel has spent a generation since the Yom Kippur War trying to appease its enemies, only to learn that not even turning over land several times Israel's original own size, meaning the Sinai Peninsula, is appeasement enough. Jews in the West have worked hard to appease every minority with a grudge against them, and still have failed to learn that no amount of appeasement is ever enough. A century of rhetoric, philosophy, debate, and angst boils down to one simple fact. There is no way to solve the problem if you fail to define it. The Jewish problem is not a problem of Jews, but those who want to kill Jews. There is no solution to the problem except to prevent them from accomplishing that task. While some plan skyscraper ghettos and are convinced that the solution is some tough love from Obama to stop Jews from being such a problem, the simple answer is that there is no answer, but that we go on living. Life is not such a complex equation that it can be understood in simple enough terms. When people consider you a problem, preventing them from doing whatever they can to solve that problem is your solution. Now I want to thank Sultan Knish for this wonderful blog. It's dated The Jewish Problem, Sultan Knish, and his blog is dated July 11th of 2009. And again, I'm thanking Berserk Mobile. If you can see here, Berserk Mobile, we thank them for supporting us with the wherewithal to have the Jewish Blogger channel. Again, go to the web link of Berserk Mobile that's in the sidebar connected to this video and check out their awesome new cell phones. We want to thank them very much for their support. Thanks Sultan for his awesome writing, and look forward to hearing from us again.